friend. A lone wolf attack or a bigger sinister plot to target temples? That's our top focus on 5 Live. Initially, these attacks or these planned attacks were being seen as lone wolf operations. But are these actually lone wolf operations, or is there something which is far more sinister? Take a look at some of these developments. So you have Mohammad Shariq, who's a friend of Mubin Jamisha and a friend of Abdul Taha. They're all childhood friends. They've studied engineering together. But instead of studying engineering, they are learning how to make IEDs. Are they a part of a wider plot to target temples in India? I'm Gaurav Sawant. We discussed that on 5 Live. We'll get you the latest developments. But first, as always, the headlines. Murder accused Aftab Poonawalla tells court he acted in a fit of rage. Sources claim the jaw found yesterday is that of Shraddha. More blood traces found in forensic search at the bathroom. Mangalore blast accused Shariq changed his identity to Prem Raj, changed his look to hoodwink the police. Sources tell India Today terror accused intended a bigger blast than what happened yesterday. Delhi Tihar Gate embarrassment for the Aam Aadmi Party. Sources say the man giving a massage to Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain is a child rapist. BJP demands the minister be sacked immediately. After initial paid blue tick feature for $8 unleashed mayhem on Twitter, Elon Musk puts it on hold, says will resume only after high confidence to stop impersonation. A day after a fatal earthquake struck Indonesian island of Java, more than 260 people reported dead, 152 missing, thousands injured. Jolt wiped out 22,000 homes. On 5 Live, we begin with the latest in the Karnataka terror plot. India Today now gets you the latest in investigations in the Shivmoga police probe into the Mangalore blast case. Investigators have told India Today that Mohammad Shariq and 3 other accused who've been arrested so far swear by the Islamic State ideology. They are members of the Daesh and were conspiring to carry out terror activities as per the agenda of the Islamic State. The investigators say Shariq and the other accused are of the view that India's independence is merely from the British rule and not real independence. That real independence can only be achieved by waging war against the Indian state and by establishing an Islamic caliphate through the enforcement of the Sharia law. They believe that quite like the Islamic State, they need to have a Sharia state, not just in Karnataka, not just in Kerala, not just in Tamil Nadu, but across the length and breadth of India. Now, these operatives have actually declared war against the non-believers or kafirs. It's a huge development that's taking place in this investigation. Look at the mind of these people. They are highly educated. They are studying to be engineers. Remember this concept, ek haath mein Quran or ek haath mein computer, but these students of engineering have ek haath mein improvised explosive device. a pressure cooker bomb. As you see in those images, their aim is not to become an engineer for the benefit of this country, but their aim is to do jihad, as they put it, to establish an Islamic caliphate, to carry out jihad against the kafirs. They had enough material stored in their house for more explosions across their area of influence. And I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Sagai Raj, breaking this big story here on India Today. Sagai Raj, you've spoken to your police sources. Bring us details of what all the police have been able to piece together in this case.
So to Gaurav, to understand the connection of Shariq, let us go back to the incident which has happened in the month of August. On August 15, there was a case which was been reported in Shivamogga, where was a stabbing case during anti-Savarkar protest. At that point of time, an accused was arrested. His name was Zabi. When police interrogated Zabi, that's when Zabi says that there are more people who are involved in anti-Indian activities, including making explosives and bombs. So he reveals the names of Shariq, Maz and Yasin. When police interrogate further, that's when they revealed that Zabi came in contact with Shariq through Afsar. Afsar was arrested in connection with Hyderabad blast case and he was behind bars in Belagavi. Zabi was arrested in a theft case much before anti-Savarkar protest time, and he was in Belagavi, and Afsar had introduced Shariq saying that he is the man for us here in Shivamogga, so you need to get connected with him. And Shariq used to radicalize Zabi, Maz and Yasin. And he used to send PDF materials, he used to send text message, he used to share photos, videos to ensure that these people are doctrined and radicalized completely and get into all anti-national activities. As you rightly pointed out, that people who don't believe in jihad, who don't believe in the religion, they are being called as kafis and they wanted to wage war against them. So these were the confession of these people when police had arrested them, and now the network is quite clear. Shariq was in connection with terror organization and terrorists like Afsar. Afsar was arrested in the blast in Hyderabad case and he was behind bars in Belagavi.
So clearly not a lone wolf attack. Very, very clear that initially it was said that these are self-indoctrinated youth, misguided youth on the wrong track, but this appears to be a much bigger conspiracy to wage war against India. That is what the police believe, and we'll be tracking the story very closely. Sagai Raj, stay with me. I want our viewers to understand and analyze the information that's in public domain so far. So the man that you see on your television screen with that pressure cooker bomb in his hand, his name is Muhammad Shariq. That Muhammad Shariq was actually studying to be an engineer. But instead of studying either electrical engineering or mechanical engineering or computer engineering, he was learning how to engineer an improvised explosive device. And what was his target? Temples in this country. He wanted to target the kafirs, those who do not believe in his religion or his ideology. So all that talk about studying engineering was to make a bomb. What was his DP or a display picture on his mobile phone? Adiyogi Shiv. He was in possession of a stolen Aadhaar card. Name Prem Raj. He shaved off his beard, shaved off his mustache. Why? Because he wanted to mingle with the larger community. He took a house, rented a house, said his name was Prem Raj. He had all these Adiyogi Shiv images as his DP, Prem Raj name, mingled with people. Take a look at this report.
गलज्जल प्रवाह पावितस्थले कलेवलम्ब्य लम्बितां भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिकां
A picture of this magnificent statue of Adiyogi Shiv at the Isha Foundation was the DP or display picture of the Mangalore pressure cooker bomber Mohammad Shariq on WhatsApp as he misled people, masking his true identity. Mohammad Shariq also produced a stolen Aadhaar card of Prem Raj and identified himself as Prem to not only rent a room but also enrolled at a mobile repairing shop. He attended 22 classes, learning more about mobile phone circuits and functions.
His name is said to be as a Prem Raj, and he has shown us the Aadhaar, okay, and he has kept in his pocket. By seeing that, I have made admission as his name is as a Prem Raj. He has started his class here. He was not so regular. Within that short time, this incident has happened, but he has not completed the course.
Mohammad Shariq is suspected to be a highly radicalized follower of the Islamic State ideology. Police say he procured another SIM card, producing a stolen Aadhaar card at Coimbatore. He stayed at a homestay where he gave his name as Gauri, another Hindu name.
Abdul Mateen Taha, he is one of the accused person, and Musawwir Hussain, both resident of Tirthali. They are accused persons, but they are absconding. So Abdul Mateen Taha is also absconding, and he is the main handler as of now, as per our information, of Shariq. But Shariq is in touch with some 2-3 other persons who are yet to be identified.
Police have also reached out to his friend and handler, Abdul Mateen Taha's family. Though Taha is absconding, his father says both Mateen and Shariq are childhood friends. Shariq was also an engineering coursemate of the Coimbatore bomber Jamisha Mubin.
ಒಂದೇ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದವರು, ಅದು ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಏನು ಗೆಳೆಯರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೆಳೆತನ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಮತ್ತು ಮತ್ತಿನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
ಅದೇ ಅದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ
ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್,
ಅವಾಗಿಂದನೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ
ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Investigations also reveal that Mohammad Shariq changed his look, shaved off his beard and mustache, and introduced himself as Prem, a Hindu devotee of Lord Shiva. His DP showing Adiyogi Shiv was also to deceive people and avoid suspicion.
ನೋಡಿ, ಅವನು ತಲೆ ಮರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ವೇಷ ಮರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. UAPA ಕೇಸು ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಅವನ ಚಲನವಲನದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಗಾ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಪೊಲೀಸು. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವು ಮತೀಯ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಅವನ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಕೂರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅಂತ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಈಗ ನಿರ್ಮೂಲ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಎಳೆತಂದು ಇಂಟ್ರಾಗೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು.
Mohammad Shariq, according to police, had also traveled to Coimbatore and met Jamisha Mubin, another highly radicalized would-be bomber whose improvised explosive device went off prematurely in the car, killing him as he headed to target a nearby temple. Police are now trying to find out whether one of the intended targets of the Islamic State terror plot was the Adiyogi statue at the Isha Foundation. With Sagai Raj in Mangalore, Bureau Report, India Today. So was this a much bigger and a sinister plot? Keeping an image of Adiyogi Shiv as his DP or display picture. This is what Mohammad Shariq was doing, keeping his name as Premaraj. In fact, another a stolen Aadhaar card has also been recovered, again with a Hindu name. But are these isolated cases or are all these cases linked together? Let me take a look at the latest developments on this big story. This bomber, Mohammad Shariq, his web of deceit lies completely exposed. So he used a fake name Gauri to stay in Coimbatore hotel in September. Coimbatore police have questioned the owner of the stay home. Karnataka police have quizzed Shariq over his Coimbatore visit. They've questioned him whether he wanted to visit the Adiyogi Shiva statue in Coimbatore. So was the ashram his second target? We now bring you a big India Today exclusive news break. The mobile shop owner where Shariq trained to repair phones has also been tracked. The owner of this training center claimed that Shariq identified himself as Prem Raj when he joined the institute, and he attended around 22 classes on mobile repair. The other big story, a major tragedy has been averted in Mangalore. Forensic Sciences preliminary report says Shariq was not carrying a low-intensity bomb, but he was carrying a powerful bomb, and this could have blown up an entire bus. It could have caused massive damage had it been detonated correctly. The bomb got activated accidentally and unintentionally, and thus it resulted in a low-impact blast. After police exposed Shariq's hideout in Mysuru MP Pratap Simha has alleged that SDPI and PFI had a role to play in the Mangalore blast. He claims that Mysore has become a safe hideout for terrorist activities and demanded a combined combing operation across the city. I now want to quickly cut across to Bharat Shetty, BJP MLA from Mangalore North City. And Mr. Shetty, I want to understand from you, your appreciation, the information that's now emerging. Mohammad Shariq, Jamisha Mubin and Abdul Mateen Taha, they were all friends, they knew each other, they were studying together. Is this a lone wolf operation, or does this appear to be a much larger conspiracy?
No, I feel it's a larger conspiracy because they are having connections outside the state. Also, he's been outside the state, and I think he's getting help from outside also. So I don't think it's a three-man operation. There will be people behind it to teach them. He has a delayed timer with him. When the raid was done, all this chemicals were found, and these three guys are not in the. I don't think they have the knowledge how to make a bomb. I think someone has to tell them how to make a bomb. So I think other forces are in play here.
Now, is politics over terror hampering investigations? Because this is an investigation that's across multiple states. Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, we know of. There are links that are being talked about in other states. Is a fair investigation taking place, or is politics hampering it?
No, I hope the politics is not hampering it, because previously, many a times, last time, well, example, when Siddaramaia's government, Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister of Karnataka, he had left out hundreds of PFI activists and people who were involved in some cases and all. That such actions will only embolden them. And in few neighboring states also, we know of incidents where because of a particular person is a Muslim, he has been left off, or some political pressure was there not to arrest him and not to do investigations in few states. And I hope such hampering of the investigations won't happen. And the central agencies can't be influenced into, leaving someone out and all. I think free and fair investigations can take place, but the state forces, all the state police forces have to help this investigation.
Bharat Shetty, that's a very serious charge that you level, sir, that somebody was left out of investigation in neighboring states because he was Muslim. Can you elaborate? Because the information that we are getting seems to be rather dangerous, the kind of activities that these people were either indulging in or involved in.
Okay, this is not in relation to this particular case. This was previously when people were arrested, they were let out because they was a Muslim or he was some, political connections with that. Not for this case. So such things should not happen. And neighboring police forces also, I think they will not hamper the investigation, because this is a very serious issue. Any small thing here goes wrong, I think the public will have to suffer. And the issue is already big, and all the politicians, irrespective of their philosophy or their parties, I think they should stand together and fight this.
Okay. Now, as far as these individuals are concerned, India Today's Sagairaj broke this big story. Police are interrogating some of the suspects, and they seem to think that they're waging a wider jihad against kafirs, people who do not believe in their religion. Is indoctrination a major part of the problem that has unfortunately, in your view, has that been tackled or has that not been tackled?
See, this indoctrination and the radical thinking, the whatever is spoiling these youths and making them go into this line. Someone is brainwashing them, and someone is supporting them also in this in the path they are taking. And somewhere, I think we have to put a complete stop onto this and find out who's teaching all these things to them, where their brains are being washed, where the brainwash is happening, where such people, I mean, how the recruitment of such youngsters is going on. I think this should be looked into. And all the
But sir,
community
you are
leaders
the
should come
government
out.
in power in Karnataka. Your party is in power in Karnataka. Your government in power in this country for the past 8 years. Has the government failed, whether in the center or the state,
Not at all.
to check
Not at
the
all.
indoctrination
You should,
of such elements? Because the Prime Minister says, ek haath mein Quran or ek haath mein computer, and here some of these elements, at least these elements are suspected to have ek haath mein improvised explosive device.
See, you see the situations after the BJP government has come into the administrative, forefront. These incidents have become very rare. The incidents is this terrorism word and the terrorism issue. It's a worldwide thing. It is not limited to India alone. But since our government is in power since the time, such incidents are very stray now. These incidents, it's not a daily thing, which used to be a daily thing. You used to hear there one bomb has gone, here one bomb has gone, there few people are killed. So things are not happening in the country now. These are stray incidents, and these elements are trying to spoil the name of the government and plus harm the society also. For example, this person was wearing a saffron shawl. This person was wearing a saffron cloth over him. He was using a Hindu name. His WhatsApp DP was of Shiva, Adi Yogi Shiva. Maybe they are trying to show that the Hindu forces are behind this, or maybe they are trying to, say that the logic of Hindu terrorism, maybe they are trying to get it in the forefront or something in those lines. But these are all stray incidents. It's not happening on a day-to-day basis, and we have, to some extent, we have controlled this terrorism menace.
Sir, that's a very serious charge. Bharat Shetty, as MLA of the Bharatiya Janata Party, believes that people like Muhammad Shariq took Adi Yogi Shiv's DP or took a Hindu name Premraj because are you saying that they are once again trying to float the bogey of Hindu terror in this country?
It looks like that. It looks like that. Either they're trying to do that or they're trying to use Hindu names to gain confidence and get logistical support. Maybe that also. But it more or less, it looks like because there was no reason for that person, the bomber, to wear a saffron shawl around his waist when he was carrying this bomb. So, and his DP is also Yogi's DP, Adi Yogi's DP only in the WhatsApp. So it looks like that. I think it will be looked into by the agencies and thorough investigation will be done. We'll know the truth in some time.
Okay, because let me give you the other side of the logic. He also gets a picture taken with a pressure cooker in his hand and wearing the kind of clothes that he's wearing. Police say he's propagating the ideology of the Islamic State, saying that he wants to propagate Islam and wants India to be an Islamic caliphate. So he's either trying Hindu terror or he's trying to establish Islamic State terror. Can't be both, sir.
Yeah, it can be, but we don't know his psychological situation and what kind of brainwashing he has gone through. This photo, I don't know whether he has left into the media or social media or not. But maybe his intention is to use this photo somewhere and use a Hindu name and the saffron shawl somewhere else. We don't know now how what their modus operandi exactly is. We'll only know that after a proper investigation.
Okay. Sir, some time back, there was an arrest in October. There was an arrest that had taken place at Varanasi, at Kashi. Is it too soon to draw a link that temples are being targeted by this by these elements Jamisha Mubin was trying to target a temple in Coimbatore. Mohammad Shariq was trying to target a temple, is what we are being told in Mangalore. Similarly, we are being told that that was the attempt also in Kashi. Do you draw a parallel, a link that the person arrested in Kashi also had an Islamic State link?
At the forefront, it looks like there's a link. I mean, their intention is to hurt Hindu sentiments. They're looking like that. They want to, create a fear psychosis among the Hindus. And in those lines, they're working in those lines. There might be a connection. And no, I can't comment on that exactly because I don't know much about it. But when you see the whole sequence of events and what's happening and their modus operandi, how they're working, how they're thinking, looks like that. Looks like that. You might be right in that.
Bharat Shetty, before I let you go, sir, I want to understand what is your government doing to de-radicalize such elements? What is your government doing to ensure that these students who should have computer in one hand do not get improvised explosive devices in one hand?
See, we are in the border. This is a border region. Mangalore is next to the Kerala border. And a lot of these activities are more prevalent in the state of Kerala, and the PFI cadre is also more strong there. So they might have come here. We have heard of people coming from there, talking to people, recruiting people, and going back. But recent the investigation by the central agencies and the police regarding the PFI and the ban of the PFI. It's a big step. Ban of PFI is, they have arrested so many these jihadi mindset people, youngsters and all, and they are being rounded up. All these guys are rounded up. And I feel we need to look at places of, where the students are being taught such things. We need to concentrate on such places also. I think the government is already working on it. I don't think I can comment on exactly on how these agencies are doing their work. But our concentration should be more on where these guys are being taught. Maybe madrasas or maybe some other places like that.
So you say that there needs to be a closer scrutiny at the madrasas where indoctrination, you say, is taking place. We'll track that story very closely. Bharat Shetty, MLA from Mangalore North, for joining me here on India Today. Many thanks. And India Today's team of reporters, more information coming in on Mohammad Shariq's activities. Shariq was in touch with a terror organization and with other suspected terrorists for some time. According to the Shivmoga police, the additional superintendent of police has told India Today that Mohammad Shariq was actually the linchpin of the radicalized youth in the area in Shivmoga and in Bhadravati. The police officer told India Today that during anti-Savarkar protests that had taken place on the 15th of August, police had arrested one accused who identified himself as Zabi. And Zabi revealed that his handler was Mohammad Shariq, the man you see on your television screen. Let's quickly listen in to what the police had to say.
Shariq, he was radicalized way before this Savarkar incident happened. He was convicted in this graffiti incident also, which happened in Mangalore.
Oh, sir.
He made ISIS graffiti and he got arrested in that case.
Okay. So,
but after that, he got bail.
No, my question is whether he got aggravated. He was more radicalized. He was more hurt because of these kind of protests which has happened in Shivamogga.
Actually, we did not get any chance to interrogate him. But one thing we got with his official number or whatever the number we got from this Jabi's mobile, Jabiullah, Shariq has been incommunicado since August 15 incident. So from August 15 incident itself, his phone is switched off.
Okay.
So that much information only we got.
So there is Maaz and Yasin. Who is Zabi, sir?
Maaz and Yasin are there. There are two cases registered in UAPA under UAPA sections in Shivamogga. One case right after this Savarkar this protest happened. In which our A1 is Jabiullah. He was in contact with this Shariq.
Okay. And
then during the course of investigation, we got to know that Jabiullah and he's in contact with two more guys. One is Yasin, one is Maz, and both Yasin and Maz are also in communication with Shariq. So Shariq is the linchpin, and all these guys, they were in communication with Shariq. So that's why we were searching Shariq. Both Maz and Yasin were arrested.
Sagairaj, who spoke to senior police officers, now joins me on the story. So Sagairaj, do the police now believe that Mohammad Shariq, the main accused in the Mangalore case, is part of a much wider network of radical Islamists who want to wage jihad in India? But what more do we know of the entire network?
See, Shariq was linchpin of all these people, whether it is Maz, Yasin and Zabi, who had involved in anti-national activities. And if you had heard the further conversation which was abruptly cut, that conversation reveals that Zabi was introduced by Afsar Pasha to Shariq. Afsar Pasha is a terror accused who was arrested in Hyderabad terror blast case. So he was shifted to Belagavi prison and he was behind bars. So Zabi, who was imprisoned for a theft case, he was shifted to Belagavi, and that's when he meets Afsar Pasha inside the prison. And Afsar Pasha says, see, here is our man, Shariq, who is there, who lives in Shivamogga, who is a native of Tirtali, who handles all these kind of terror activities in Karnataka. So introduce Zabi to Shariq, and that's when Shariq and Zabi gets to know each other. So Shariq was a linchpin between all these people. He was a person who used to send PDF, text message, audios, videos and all the materials to these people, Yasin, Maz and Zabi, to radicalize them and get involved in anti-national activities. And how police crack this network, Gaurav? They arrest Zabi in a connection with a stabbing case of Prem Singh during anti-Savarkar protest in Shivamogga. And when they question him, that's when Zabi reveals, see, I'm just a person who involved in a stabbing case, but there are more people who get involved in anti-national case, who also make bombs at home, and he reveals the name of Shariq, Yasin and Maz. That's where police investigate further and named him as A1.
So look at this wider network. Mohammad Shariq was arrested the first time when he writes graffiti on the walls, "Do not compel us to invite Lashkar-e-Taiba to India." Imagine, lives in India, studies in India, is Indian, wants to invite Lashkar-e-Taiba to India to target Indians. This is the mindset. He's studying to be an engineer, but look at the mindset. He wants to turn India into an Islamic caliphate. And he's not alone. There are others with him. And they're all studying engineering. Ek haath mein Quran, ek haath mein computer. But instead of the computer, they have an improvised explosive device. And this is not just the case of this Mohammad Shariq. It's also the case of that Jamisha Mubin. It is also the case, according to the police investigations, of the third man, Abdul Mateen Taha. We bring you this report.
A series of bomb blasts in the south. Chilling link between Coimbatore car blast and Mangalore auto blast. Mangalore terror accused Shariq visited Tamil Nadu and allegedly met Jamisha Mubin in September. Notably, a month before the blast in Coimbatore. Sources say both Mubin and Shariq allegedly planned bomb blasts when they stayed in Singanallur in September. While Mubin allegedly opted to execute the plan in Coimbatore, Shariq tasked himself with carrying out the blast in Mangalore. The two got connected while studying mechanical engineering in Bengaluru. Police are on their toes as they claim it could be more than a coincidence that Shariq visited Tamil Nadu days before a car explosion in front of the Sangameshwara temple on October 23rd.
His immediate handler was Arafat Ali, who is accused in this Mangalore North Police Station case and Mangalore East Police Station case. And apart from that, he was in touch with one Musawwir Hussain, who also happens to be an accused person in Sudgante Palya 10/20 UAPA case. Shariq is in touch with some 2-3 other persons who are yet to be identified.
Shariq first came on the radar of the state police when he was arrested for pro-terror graffiti in Mangalore in November 2020. Soon after he got bail, he fled Tirthahalli only to resurface as a bomb blast accused. He allegedly bought a SIM card for a mobile phone using the Aadhaar card of a private school teacher in Tamil Nadu. Shariq seemed fully prepared to carry out his alleged objective. But little did he know that minutes into the auto ride, the cooker bomb would explode, leaving him badly injured and hospitalized. He was radicalized by wanted terrorist Mateen Ahmed Taha. Mateen, who carries reward of 3 lakh rupees on him, allegedly brainwashed Shariq to execute his ISIS plans. Ironically, Shariq's father is an army veteran who served in the forces for 26 years. While Shariq survived the auto blast, the accused in the Coimbatore case, Mubin, was not so lucky. He was killed on the spot. With Sagay Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
And India Today's Pramod Madhav now joins me for more on this big story. Pramod, the link between the Coimbatore blast accused and Mohammad Shariq. This would indicate that there is a much bigger plot that's currently at play. What more can you tell us about this link?
Certainly, Gaurav, what we have found out so far is that Shariq did come to Tamil Nadu and he was staying in one location called as Singanallur. And right now, through sources we got information, he's not just Singanallur, he has also gone for one day for Madurai and another place in Tamil Nadu called as Nagakoil. And in Coimbatore, he has stayed for 4 days. This was confirmed by one of the lodge owners over there. And there is where he met this person called as Surendran, who is working as a PE teacher. Apparently, he has told Surendran that he does not have a SIM card, any Aadhaar card, and through which he got a SIM card. But what happened here is that earlier police recovered a fake Prem Raj named Aadhaar card, but in this particular lodge, the name he had used is Gauri. So what happened here also is that the lodge owner very clearly states that he was able to identify Surendran, but not Shariq, but presumably because he was changing his attire in some way or the other, but the owner had said in that manner. So what the cops have done is that Surendran, who was being questioned for the past 2 days in Tamil Nadu, has been taken to Mangalore, and as per police sources from Tamil Nadu, they claim that this has been done to practically identify Shariq and to take the investigation from there on. More information on this matter is that one of the senior police officials said that there are different modules in Coimbatore and that is actually pretty dangerous. And what happened is that this particular bomb blast, the way it has done, is something related to a movement called as base movement, while Mubin's is entirely a different thing. So that's the reason Tamil Nadu police is also closely monitoring and investigating both the cases.
So there is a Coimbatore police team that's also now in Mangalore. Joint operations, joint searches are also being conducted. At least that is what we are being told at this point of time. Because remember, the suspected terrorists, the jihadis, those who want to destroy India, they are united. Those who want to defend India cannot afford to remain divided. We will continue to track developments of the story very closely. Sagai Raj and Pramod Madhav for joining me here on this 5 Live special. Many thanks. We slip into a quick break at this stage. Coming up on the other side, the Delhi police have succeeded in getting the custody of Aftab Amin Poonawala for another 4 days. There will be more detailed investigations that will be conducted. Aftab is reported to have told a judge that it was a crime in a fit of rage. Is that actually true? Details coming up.
men and women who built Indian industry, and the young guns who are shaping tomorrow's India. From storied careers to unicorn dreams.
The equity market is a dynamic space that needs sharper insights and perfect timing. What stock, what fund, what to pick and what to sell.
How do you make money on the markets? And what are the superior strategies for a winning portfolio?
Your questions answered by 30 years undisputed leadership.
Only with Business Today Television.
Fashion industry is all about new designs, styles and creations. Well, now fashion designers have a new playground for their creations, the metaverse. This digital world where, thanks to an avatar that gives us a virtual twin, we can evolve and act just as we would in the real world. We enter it through wearing a virtual reality headgear or by watching a computer or smartphone screen. The metaverse is a space for experimentation and testing out new products, allowing designers to push the boundaries of their creativity. This has economic advantages too. By testing out their collection in the metaverse, they can then analyze public reaction in it and adapt demand accordingly to avoid surplus production and unsold items in the real world. In other words, an eco-friendly approach. For other designers, their creations will stay digital. On specialized platform, brands commercialize their virtual clothes by attaching to them an NFT or a non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a blockchain that can be sold and traded using cryptocurrency. This kind of marketing saves brands from their worst nightmare, fakes flooding the marketplace. With the second-hand market booming, reselling a pair of virtual shoes associated with an NFT will give the designer royalties on each transaction. Some brands link a virtual fashion item with its counterpart in reality.
Forever hitmaker Chris Brown's performance at American Music Awards was cancelled at the last minute. Brown took to social media and posted this video from rehearsals that showed the singer perform a lengthy routine which was supposed to be a tribute to the legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson. The singer showed off his MJ-inspired moves with a crew of backup dancers. The set opened with the track Under the Influence, and then the performance transitions to Jackson's Beat It, where Brown and his dancers can be seen busting a move to the mega hit. They even included some of Jackson's iconic choreography in their rendition of other hits such as Beat It, Wanna Be Starting Something and Thriller. Brown originally captioned this post as "You serious?" before following up with a later comment writing, would have been American Music Award performance, but they cancelled me for reasons unknown. While the American Music Awards have not responded to the cancellation of Brown's performance for the show, sources suggest that the reason could be the renewed allegations of child molestation against MJ. Particularly after two accusers starred in the 2019 HBO docu-series Leaving Neverland on the subject.
I was 7 years old. Michael asked, "Do you and the family want to come to Neverland?"
We drive in and forget about all your problems. You were in Neverland. It was a fantasy.
That's not all. Brown was charged for assaulting his then-girlfriend Rihanna in 2009, for which she had been hospitalized. Brown, who was 19 at the time, later pleaded guilty to one count of felony assault. Entertainment.
And news just coming in, Delhi Police Commissioner Sanjay Arora is at the DCP South office in Horse Khas in South Delhi in connection with investigations in the Shraddha Walkar murder case. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Arvind Ojha joining us for more on this. Arvind, 200 से ज्यादा पुलिसकर्मी, 15 से ज्यादा टीम श्रद्धा वालकर मर्डर की गुत्थी सुलझाने में लगी हुई है और अब दिल्ली पुलिस के कमिश्नर डीसीपी साउथ के दफ्तर गए हैं, ऐसा क्यों?
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए ये एक हाई प्रोफाइल केस बन चुका है और दिल्ली पुलिस के लिए काफी बड़ा चैलेंज भी एविडेंस कलेक्ट करना, और शायद यही वजह है कि जो दिल्ली के जो पुलिस कमिश्नर है संजय अरोड़ा, वो खुद साउथ डीसीपी ऑफिस पहुंचे हुए हैं। साउथ डीसीपी का ऑफिस है और फिलहाल जो सीनियर ऑफिशियल है साउथ दिल्ली के ज्वाइंट कमिश्नर, डीसीपी और श्रद्धा केस से जुड़े जो इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑफिसर्स हैं, उनके साथ फिलहाल इसी ऑफिस में मीटिंग चल रही है। जिस तरीके से 18 मई को इस श्रद्धा का मर्डर हुआ था, उसके बाद नवंबर में जाकर इस केस का खुलासा हुआ था और जिस तरीके से आफ्ताब ने इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आया था कि एक के बाद एक एविडेंस वो मिटा दिए थे, जो बॉडी पार्ट्स थे उनको अलग अलग जगह पर फेंक दिया था, तो ऐसे में एविडेंस कलेक्ट करना ये दिल्ली पुलिस के लिए बड़ा चैलेंज था। दिल्ली पुलिस के सोर्सेज का कहना है कि 200 से ज्यादा जो पुलिस ऑफिशियल है वो एविडेंस कलेक्ट करने के लिए लगाए गए थे, चाहे वो जंगल हो, चाहे वो महाराष्ट्र हो, हिमाचल प्रदेश हो, उत्तराखंड हो। तो अब ये पूरे केस की मॉनिटरिंग करने के लिए खुद जो दिल्ली के पुलिस कमिश्नर है संजय अरोड़ा, वो फिलहाल जो केस से जुड़े तमाम अधिकारी हैं उनके साथ यहाँ पर
अच्छा, पुलिस को कुछ सबूत तो मिले हैं ऐसा दावा किया जा रहा है, लेकिन जिस हथियार का इस्तेमाल हुआ था श्रद्धा के शरीर के टुकड़े करने में, या फिर खून से सने वो कपड़े, या फिर श्रद्धा का मोबाइल फोन, उसमें कोई सफलता मिल पाई है? कोई ठोस सुराग या सबूत पुलिस के हाथ लगा है? अरविंद,
देखिए यहाँ पर मैं कोट करना चाहूंगा। दरअसल दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में दिल्ली पुलिस ने आज ये कहा है कि 80% जो जांच है वो पूरी हो चुकी है और कई एविडेंस कलेक्ट किए जा चुके हैं। एक टॉप ऑफिशियल से जब हमने बात करने की कोशिश की तो उनका कहना है कि बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल्स हम इस केस में नहीं दे पाएंगे, अदरवाइज जो अक्यूज्ड है उसको बहुत ज़्यादा फायदा होने वाला है, क्योंकि ये 6 महीने बाद इस मर्डर का खुलासा हुआ है। लेकिन सोर्सेज से जो हमें जानकारी मिली है कि बाथरूम जहां पर वो उसने आफ्ताब ने श्रद्धा की बॉडी को चॉप किया था और ब्लड का स्टेन न मिल पाए, इस वजह से शॉवर चलाया हुआ था, वहीं से सीएफएसएल की टीम को ब्लड स्टेन मिला हुआ है और उस ब्लड स्टेन की डीएनए सैंपलिंग की जाएगी। जो फादर का, श्रद्धा के फादर का डीएनए लिया गया था उससे मिलान किया जाएगा। अगर वो मिल जाता है तो बहुत बड़ा एविडेंस होगा। इसके अलावा कई बोन्स रिकवर हुए हैं, उनको सीएफएसएल भेजा गया है, पॉलीग्राफी टेस्ट कराया जा रहा है, उसके बाद नार्को टेस्ट कराया जाएगा। एविडेंस के नाम पर दिल्ली पुलिस के पास काफी कुछ है, ऐसा सोर्सेज ने हमें हिंट किया है। हालांकि अभी भी जो आफ्ताब है वो पुलिस कस्टडी में ही है, 4 दिन की पुलिस कस्टडी मिली है। ऐसे में पॉलीग्राफी टेस्ट और नार्को टेस्ट भी कराएगी और उसके जरिए भी दिल्ली पुलिस को काफी लीड्स मिलने वाली हैं। कई एविडेंस हैं, बॉन्स रिकवर हुए हैं, ब्लड स्टेन है किचन से, बाथरूम से।
इस बड़ी खबर पर अरविंद आप नजर बनाए रखिए। ताजा जानकारी के लिए फिर मैं आपके पास लौटूंगा। There's more breaking news that's coming in. The Delhi police is learned to have informed court, and this is a big disclosure in the Shraddha Walkar murder investigations. Aftab apparently wrote details of where Shraddha's chopped remains were dumped. There is some kind of a rough map or some kind of a rough sketch that he had drawn. That is what the Delhi police have claimed in court. Aftab used to write some of these details in a paper that was recovered by the Delhi police on where he had placed some of her body parts. I want to quickly cut across to India Today's Akshay Dongre for more on this story. Akshay, I want to understand, what is it that the Delhi police have recovered? What is this piece of paper? What kind of information does this paper conceal?
Well, Gaurav, a very, very crucial piece of evidence has been recovered from the residence, or rather the flat of Aftab, where he kept a sort of a map where he was in fact taking notes that where exactly was he disposing the body parts of Shraddha Walkar, and that exactly is the reason that now police is making very, very rapid headways as far as the investigation is concerned. In fact, initially the police for about a week's time kept on searching very thoroughly in that particular forest area of Mehroli. However, after a certain point of time, the police stopped getting new body parts, getting more body parts as far as that particular forest is concerned. And today, there was a change. The police, in fact, went to a Maidangadi area that is about 4 kilometers from that particular forest. And there, with the help of the divers, they, in fact, recovered a few more bones. In fact, a very crucial piece of evidence that was the jaw part of a human skull has been recovered. And that the sample for that bone has also been sent for DNA analysis to the CFSL. Now, that particular DNA sample will be matched not only with the DNA sample that has been collected from Shraddha Walkar's father, but also the other bones that have been recovered from the Mehroli forest, to understand that whether all of this was interlinked and whether Aftab made it sure that he was not disposing the entire body in a particular area, rather he was dividing it in different parts, so that even if a particular body part is found, nobody suspects that that is a human body part. So very, very specifically this entire crime has been committed, and
he made
has gotten
notes of
this map.
That paper contains those details, what body part was disposed of where. It just sounds very, very strange, but keep tracking that story, Akshay. I will come back to you for more. That is all we have time for on 5 Live this evening. Many thanks for watching. India Today's Akshita Nandgopal comes up next with the big story, the Tihar Gate embarrassment for the Aam Aadmi Party. The images of a Delhi minister getting a foot massage. But who is this person who is giving that massage? That story and lots more. That's coming up with Akshita Nandgopal on 6 p.m. Prime. Stay with us.
सच पेड़ के बीच की तरह होता है, जितना चाहे दफना लो, एक दिन बाहर आ ही जाता है।